Welcome to the Explainer. Today we're doing something really cool. We're going to validate those unconventional psychological quirks of yours as actual signs of high intelligence, and then we'll empower you to use that unique, highly adaptable mind to master modern digital creation tools. If you've ever felt like your brain just operates on a totally different frequency than everyone else's, well, you are in exactly the right place.
So, think about this. Is a messy desk really a sign of chaos, or is it a map of a highly active mind? If you've ever felt misunderstood by society's labels, this explainer is going to show you that what other people just write off as messy is actually your brain's flexible system for pattern building. I mean, while the world demands visual perfection, your sharp mind is using that physical disorder as an external map of ideas, priorities, and ongoing projects. You aren't chaotic at all. You're literally just busy processing.
Okay, let's take a quick look at our agenda. We'll start with the human operating system, move into the psychology of boundaries, check out our hidden digital identities, dive into the M-shaped mind, and finally, automating creativity with AI. So we'll explore our human OS first, and then seamlessly pivot to see how your adaptable mind can leverage new AI tools to build incredibly complex video narratives.
All right, Section 1, the human operating system. Let's peel back that inner layer of human behavior to really understand how highly intelligent minds process data on a daily basis.
So here's an absolutely crucial point. High IQ individuals excel at something called the cognitive pause. Basically, it's this ability to create a split-second gap between feeling an emotion and actually acting on it. It allows your reasoning brain to step in and override those basic emotional survival impulses. To the outside world, it looks like you're hesitating, but actually, you're calculating.
And you know, this pause feeds right into several everyday habits of the sharp mind. Take overthinking, for instance. Society always calls it a flaw, right? But it's actually mental simulation. Your brain is running scenarios, it's stress testing ideas. The exact same thing goes for your comfort with solitude or your deep dislike of small talk. These habits just prove that true intelligence constantly analyzes. It seeks deep, conceptual clarity over shallow interactions. Your mind doesn't want the fluff. It absolutely craves substance.
Moving right along to Section 2, the psychology of boundaries. Let's see how all of this builds into the way our operating system manages its energy and emotional safety.
Have you ever wondered why having people over to your house is just so exhausting? Well, this is called the control paradox. For an introspective mind, your home is a psychological territory. It is the one place your nervous system can finally exhale. So when you host guests, it triggers this massive exhaustion spiral because you're suddenly forced to manage perception in your safe space. You're trapped by courtesy. I mean, you can't exactly just up and leave your own house, right?
And honestly, this brilliantly illustrates a much broader pattern. Just look at these psychological preferences, preferring the quiet, muted environment of winter over the loud, socially demanding summer, or loving the boundary intelligence of cats, who basically teach us that affection has to be invited, not demanded, or even ignoring sports, which completely rely on external, group-validated spectacle in favor of internal validation. All of these stem from a neurological preference for low-noise, emotionally stable environments where your mind can truly thrive.
Okay, Section 3, our hidden digital identities. Now we're going to look at how we project this internal psychology outward onto the internet.
Notice the really stark contrast in digital behavior here. Take the person with absolutely no profile picture. It's almost never carelessness, right? It's strategic digital boundary control. They have a really high tolerance for ambiguity, and they prioritize long-term privacy over short-term visibility. On the flip side, overposting isn't necessarily arrogance at all. Psychology actually shows it's often a coping mechanism for emotional mood repair. It's a way to construct an identity and seek validation when someone feels internally unstable or maybe just fears being forgotten.
That brings us to Section 4, the M-shaped mind. This is where we see how your seemingly scattered interests are actually a massive evolutionary advantage. We've all heard the quote, "A jack of all trades is a master of none, but oftentimes better than a master of one." So, if your room looks like a museum of half-finished hobbies, a guitar over here, a coding book over there, you aren't failing to specialize. You are building an M-shaped mind. The traditional world wanted I-shaped people who dug one hole a mile deep. But we live in a wicked, rapidly changing environment now. Having multiple pillars of depth, all connected by a bridge of curiosity, gives you serious strategic adaptability.
Your true value lies in something called far transfer. This is basically the ability to take a concept from a completely unrelated field, say psychology, and apply it to another, like software design, to connect the dots between seemingly random skills to create innovation. You are literally meant to be the bridge between worlds that specialists can't even see. And we are about to put that exact skill to the ultimate test.
Which brings us to our final section, Section 5, Automating Creativity with AI. Let's practice that far transfer right now in the real world. We're going to apply your M-shaped ability to synthesize information directly into one of today's most complex digital frontiers.
If you've played around with AI video at all, you know the absolute biggest nightmare is keeping a character's face consistent from scene to scene. But your unconventional mind's ability to connect psychology, storytelling, and tech is exactly what makes you uniquely primed to solve this frustrating consistency issue, and we're going to do it using a totally free workflow.
We're going to build a 5-step automation system. Imagine taking a beautifully prompted ChatGPT story about a young boy named Elias and a curious fox in a town called Willow Square and turning that into a literal cinematic masterpiece. We start with the ChatGPT story script, move to AutoWhisk for batch images, then grab Google AI Audio, animate with Grok Video, and finally do our CapCut assembly.
Let's tackle that visual consistency first. After getting 20 visual prompts from ChatGPT, you'll use a Chrome extension called AutoWhisk. Specifically, you want version 7.6.0. You generate one perfect reference image of Elias and one of the fox. And guys, here is the magic. You upload those specific reference images directly into AutoWhisk, type their exact names, and batch generate all 20 background images at once. This forces the AI to apply perfect character consistency across every single shot. It's a real game changer.
Next up, we take those perfect images over into Grok to animate them. But to maintain professional control, you absolutely must dive into Grok settings and disable the automatic video generation feature. Doing this allows you to use ChatGPT to map out deliberate cinematic camera movements, things like dolly zooms, pans, and trucks, for each image. It gives you absolute directorial control rather than just letting the AI guess what looks good.
Finally, we assemble the whole shebang in CapCut with our Google AI-generated voiceover. You'll add some classic black fade transitions for a really polished look. But the ultimate secret to an incredible video project is the sound design. Grok generates native audio for its videos, and whatever you do, don't mute it. Instead, extract that native audio and lower it down to -25 decibels. This creates a really subtle, incredibly natural ambiance right beneath your voiceover that just brings the whole environment to life.
And just like that, using the exact same pattern recognition and systems thinking that makes your mind so wonderfully unconventional, you have mastered a cutting-edge creative workflow. You see, you are not broken, you are uniquely adaptable. You're equipped with the ultimate creative toolkit, capable of pulling from a dozen different disciplines to innovate. So, armed with this new understanding of your own brilliant mind and these powerful new tools, what world will you create next?